Alright, so I am walking around the former Army base of Fort Ritchie in Maryland. I just happened to come past here the other day. I always knew of this base, but I never really knew. I think I had heard that it had closed, but didn't really know. It's just south of the Pennsylvania border. This place closed in the 90s during the base realignment process, and there's been talk of it being redeveloped, but so far nothing's happened. But eventually, I think when this is developed, this is all going to be demolished anyway, so this is really some cool stuff here. But I know there was the lake, I guess this is the lake that was built for production of ice. And I've shot other videos of places that were built just for producing ice. They'd build lakes, and then in the wintertime they'd cut it up for ice. This was before air conditioner freezers and things like that. But that became an Army base later. I think initially it was a National Guard base for the Maryland National Guard, and then eventually became a regular Army base. But this building is definitely cool. I was going between sites the other day when I just happened to notice this, and I didn't stop then because I wasn't sure of its status. So I looked it up, and it seems okay to go, so. Alright, and this must be the other lake here. I thought there were two. I think I'm going to drive around some more. So yeah, this is the other lake. It's really getting windy now, so there is a storm coming in here. So I'd like to go around here a little bit more. This isn't a large base, but I'd like to see a little bit more. Back of this building, I didn't notice these old steps here. It's all overgrown. This base has been closed for 20 years now, or over 20. Yeah, I guess it was 95, 97, somewhere in that time frame. But yeah, I think it served as some kind of communications facility for the Raven Rock facility, which is on the Pennsylvania side of the border. Okay, so here's some more. Now there are some areas that say no trespassing, so there was just a road that just came up. You couldn't turn right, you could only turn left because there was a gate blocked and it had no trespassing sign, so There are still places you can't go. Notice the hazardous weapons. Oh, hazardous vapors. I read it wrong. I read it as hazardous weapons. I love the design of these buildings. This old stone. It's always been one of my favorites. So it's going to be a shame when all this is gone. The wind's died down some, but so over by the upper lake there's these things. They have locks on, but, or at least a couple of them do. But there's nothing there. One door's blown all the way down here. So I'm glad I did make a stop here. I don't know the status of it, but I know there was also a second Army base in the general area in Maryland here that was also closed about the same time. So I don't know what the status of that one is. Alright, just a quick stop here because I did see some no trespassing signs in through there. There's a couple cars in there. This is no doubt the base housing where the soldiers lived on base, but also apparently until recently there were people renting some of these houses. And I remember there was an article saying that they all had to be moved out. This was like a couple years ago, that they all had to get out by a certain date. Because the developer was going to develop the property, and this must be where they lived in some of these houses. So they were all forced out, and then that development never happened, fell through, and this is probably where some of the housing where they lived. All right. So I was in here, but I don't think I had my camera on. So just take a quick look. Some pigeons. But this is a cool fireplace. Don't worry, pigeons, I'm not going to hurt you. But as I was saying, I think you can hike from the High Rock area where I was just a few days ago onto this base, or you may be able to. So I might have to try that at some point too. Because there's more stuff up top here. But I'm not going to drive up here now. It's starting to rain. So I think I'm just going to get out of here. I'm going to stop over at the, there's a, looks like a memorial over on the other side of here. So I'm going to stop over there first, and then sign off from there. Alright, now I would imagine this might have been the base headquarters, but I'm not sure. There's lights on. But I wanted to check out, I saw there was a memorial over here. Probably just had power on, there's no vehicles around or anything. But I wanted to, there is like a community center here, so there was just an activity down on the lake. And this is a World War II memorial here. This monument and a memorial woods are set aside to forever preserve the memory of the 7,900 Washington County World War II veterans, 228 of whom gave their lives for the good of their country. Dedicated this day, November 2004, historical note located adjacent to the Appalachian Trail, 4.5 miles southwest of this site. It's kind of an interesting place, but I suppose at some point this is going to be demolished. I mean, I just love these old stone buildings. I mean, this building here is beautiful on the outside. But all this, I guess, at some point is going to be demolished for a housing project or something. So it's going to be tough to see it go. So nobody seems to know when that's going to happen, though, or exactly what it's going to be, because every time somebody comes up with a plan, it appears that something happens. So, all right, I guess that's it for here. So thank you for watching. Always appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.